of the Honorable the Chief Justice of Nigeria and Chairman National Judicial Council, Honorable Justice Kudirat Motomori Olatokumbo Kikerekun, GCON, to this committee for your consistent support and unprecedented cordiality of working relationship you have over the years accorded the Nigerian judiciary. His Lordship and indeed the entire leadership of the Nigerian judiciary are very grateful for this. Now from our end, that's on my own behalf and my colleagues, we want to particularly thank this committee, I'm a joint committee, for this unprecedented indulgence that the three committees will have to come together to hold this session in order for us to make our presentation. We are indeed very grateful for this. Now, the chairman and members of this committee, the Nigerian judiciary was in the year 2024 appropriated the sum of 341 billion naira. Again here, I want once again thank this committee because but not for your intervention, that sum wouldn't have been appropriated. We are eternally grateful for this. I want also to place on record our gratitude to His Excellency, Mr. President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for this indulgence. I'm glad to report to this committee that the judiciary thus far has been able to access these appropriated funds 100%. I'm equally elated to report that we, in terms of budget performance, have been able to perform 95%. So we've been able to record 95% performance. The balance, of course, of the 5% are mainly bills on transit due to the extension of the capital period of the budget. This year, Mr. Chairman and members, the judiciary is still, given a ceiling of 341 billion, just exactly as 2004 ceiling, to 2024. Mr. Chairman and members, grateful as we have always been, we are constrained to every sense of responsibility, submit that this ceiling given to us is grossly insufficient to even cater for our basic and statutory needs. Mr. Chairman, why this is insufficient is because of the following. Like Mr. Chairman and members
Mr. Chairman,
are aware,
we don't have any of the documents he's looking at.
we've not started.
They are just giving the synopsis.
Yes, I'm just remarking.
Okay.
Yes. So these committees are aware that, for instance, our personnel appropriation for 2024 for all the courts and judicial bodies was to the tune of 58 billion naira, 1,362,700 naira 93 kobo. That was our appropriation on personnel cost for 2024, for instance. Now, this committee is aware that the federal government in the early part of 2024 had increased the salaries and allowances of workers, first by 25% for staff on grade level 1 to 16, and then 35% for staff on grade level 17. Also later, middle of the year in July, the federal government announced an increase in the minimum wage to 70, from 30,000 to 70,000. These honorable committees are aware that these increments were not contemplated and were therefore not captured in our 2024 personnel appropriation. So what this means by implication is that additional provision has to be made in order to cater for the payment of these increments. I want to report to this committee, and I want to openly here appreciate the Judiciary Staff Union, because immediately after the announcement of this increment, they came knocking that we should start implementing this. But we were able to pacify them, giving them reason that there was no appropriation for them, and then we gave them assurance that provision for the payment, for the implementation and the payment of arrears will be made in the 2025 appropriation. So unfortunately, probably due to some genuine oversight in sending us the ceiling for this year, I think the budget office did not consider the need to make additional provision in order to cater for this additional expenditure. The Chairman and distinguished members, closely related to this also is the additional expenditure resulting from the increase, the 300% increase in the salaries of the judicial officers. I want to still register our appreciation to this committee for solidly standing behind us in making sure that this increment has become a reality. Now, that increment itself also posed another round of challenge on the Nigerian judiciary, because by the provision of Section 291 of the Nigerian Constitution, retired judicial officers are entitled to their salary for life as their pension. Unfortunately, again, due to genuine oversight, provision was not made to cater for the consequential adjustment with a view to start implementing the payment of pension to the, based on the new salary regime. So that also has created another round of additional expenditure on us to the tune of about 41 billion, which means additional provision will have to be made to cater for this. Distinguished chairman and members, even the other boards, rather other heads, like the overhead and the capital, were left as they were in 2024. So I want to appeal to this committee that, considering the prevailing economic realities in this country, and even if we are supposed to maintain the same milestone as achieved last year on these heads, there is no doubt need to at least increase those heads by 35% in line with the prevailing inflation rate. So for this reason, I want to urge this committee, like you've always been doing to us, consider an increment in our budget so as Nigerian judiciary to function efficiently and effectively. With these few remarks, Mr. Chairman, as is conventional, with kind permission of the Chairman, I will may now wish to call the individual accounting officers to separately and individually present their proposals. Thank you very much for this audience.
Just before I call on my colleagues to